It's time for December's round of Escape the TBR. This is my TBR game where I am rolling to escape a house. Different rooms are different colors, which means different genres, and there's prompts for everything. So if you want more information, it will be linked in the description. December, the month of having too many plans, the month of being too ambitious to finish up everything I wanted to do this year. I'm really so delusional thinking about my video plans. It's a little ridiculous. So I'm going to try to get as many of the books I need to read on my TBR. Before we get into the game, I have 3 things I wanted to talk to you about. The first one is the pick for the Pyramid Book Club in December. This is a book club that I co-host with my friends Monica from A Little Bit of Monica and Michelle from Michelle's Library. This month we are reading Christmas Presents by Lisa Unger. I believe the discussion will be on Sunday, December 17th, and then we will have reading sprints the week leading up to that. Also in December, I am co-hosting the Lights Out Book Club run by Sav from Riveting Reads. I'm really excited to be co-hosting with Gabby from Ola Books as well, and we will be reading The Trap by Catherine Ryan Howard. I'm really excited for this one. I am a little nervous because I didn't love the previous book that I read by her, but I think that's an unpopular opinion, and I have heard really good things about her in general. So I would love for you to read both Christmas Presents and The Trap for the 2 book clubs I am participating in and hosting/co-hosting for December. Also in December, I am hosting a super fun readathon on my Patreon. If you were around in May, I hosted a month-long readathon called Escape the Readathon. That is why I'm wearing this. We were competing on teams to be the one to escape this haunted house. And in December on my Patreon, we are doing a mini version of this. It will be about 2 weeks long. You will be competing individually for a prize, and we will be escaping a ski lodge. So somewhat recently, I got into this new hobby. So I've been having a lot of fun doing painted and stenciled edges on books. This is my Ashley Winstead collection. So for the winner of Escape the Readathon, I will be doing a custom book edge for them. So if you are interested in participating with us, this is available for the cheese fries tiers and up on my Patreon, and that information is in the description. I think that's all 4 things I have going on in December besides the ridiculous amount of videos I have planned. So let's get into the game. I'm trying something new this time with the angle. We'll see how it goes. As always, reminders, 2 of the 3 being doubles means an interior door is automatically unlocked. If the red die is odd, then even if the card says to remove a book, I will not be removing a book. Red is horror, orange is thriller, green is mystery, blue is sci-fi, purple is other genres, things I don't typically read, and yellow is a free genre. Roll 1. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A horror from Libro FM. I scrolled through the books that I had available on Libro FM, and for this I decided to go with Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas. This is a supernatural western, which kind of terrifies me, but I ended up really enjoying The Hacienda. I wasn't sure about it at first because I feel like the writing took a little bit for me to get into, but I ended up really enjoying the story. And even though the idea of a supernatural western really terrifies me, I still am holding out hope for this one. This is set in 1840s Mexico. It has vampires in it. It has a unique sounding concept, and I'm really looking forward to giving this a go. Roll 2. 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. A genre I don't typically read, out of my comfort zone. That's really anything I could pick for this, but okay. So this category for genres is already out of my comfort zone. So to get a prompt that says out of my comfort zone in this room, I feel like the game was really coming for me. So the genres that work in here are romance, historical fiction, literary fiction, fantasy, really anything that's not covered in the other rooms. So for this, I feel like I'm going so far out of my comfort zone, and I'm going to go with fantasy. And I will be reading The Will of the Many by James Islington. I have heard this compared to The Hunger Games. I mean, I'm sure it's not completely like The Hunger Games. This was recommended to me by Mel and Cassidy after I talked about some things that I liked in other books. So I'm gonna give it a go. I'm truly terrified, 1, because of the genre of this book, 2, because of the length of this book. I'm so scared, but it fit perfectly in this out of my comfort zone and in a genre I don't usually read. So we're going for it. Roll 3. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Another genre I don't typically read, from the library. I don't know how this happened to me. I usually avoid going in this room. I didn't expect to get 2 books in this category. So this one is a little bit of a cheat because it is also partially horror, but I am going with Natural Beauty by Ling Ling Huang. I'm pretty sure this is part horror, part literary fiction, and I am so scared of literary fiction. I don't typically read it. The few that I've read, I don't really like. So having horror in here makes it a little less terrifying. I don't even know what to say about this. I'm just gonna read the synopsis. So this follows a young musician in an elite beauty-obsessed world where perfection comes at a staggering cost. Our narrator produces a sound from the piano no one else at the conservatory can. She employs a technique she learned from her parents, who fled China in the wake of the Cultural Revolution, and accidentally leaves her parents debilitated, and she abandons her future for a job at a high-end beauty and wellness shop in New York City. So then she's doing Botox and eyelash extensions, and it says, beneath these creams and tinctures lies something sinister. I don't know how I feel about any of what I just read, but I will be reading it. Roll 4. 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13. A thriller from my shelves. I went with one that I've had for a while and was on a previous TBR because I really want to try to get to it and finish as many books from my TBRs as possible. So I have A Nearly Normal Family by M.T. Edverson. This is a legal thriller. A shocking murder accusation tests a nearly normal family. It says it's psychological and forces the reader to consider how far would you go to protect the ones you love. So an 18-year-old is accused of a brutal murder of a man almost 15 years older than her. What reason could she have had to kill this guy? Her father's a pastor, her mother's a criminal defense attorney, and their moral compasses are tested. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this one, but I'm really excited to get to it. I tend to really like legal thrillers, so I'm looking forward to this. Roll 5. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Doors unlocked. 9, 10, 11. Any genre. The book from my 12 books from 12 friends list. Here's the thing about this 12 books from 12 friends list. 1, I have epically failed at completing this. 2, I'm not going to be doing it again for next year because of how poorly I did with it this time. I've only read 4, but I do have 4 more that I want to prioritize in December. So I'm going to just tell you all of them. In theory, I will get to all 4, and I'm so sorry to the other 4 that I'm just not going to read. So I have Crossroads by Laurel Hightower. This was on my November TBR, and this is going to be in a video that got pushed back, so that's why I have not read it yet. This is grief horror. Then I have If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. This is a Shakespeare-inspired thriller slash horror, I believe. The Fisherman by John Langan. This is cosmic horror that follows a fisherman. And Jurassic Park. This is a sci-fi thriller, obviously with dinosaurs. So those are the 4 that I plan on getting to hopefully by the end of the year. I could have just put one on this list, but I figured I would tell you the 4 that I am leaning towards trying to read in December. Roll 6. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doors unlocked. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Another one in a genre I don't typically read. That is a new to me author. I don't know how I ended up with a 3rd book in this room. I really avoid it at all times, and I should go back to avoiding it because clearly if I step foot in these rooms, I end up getting multiple books. So for this one, I went with another one that is stretching it. It also does include horror, but it is a horror fantasy, and that is The Library at Mount Char by Scott Hawkins. I have not read from Scott Hawkins before, but I own this. This one is really long and it scares me, but it says, a missing god, a library with the secrets to the universe, a woman too busy to notice her heart slipping away. I don't even know what this is about, but the synopsis is talking about guacamole? I'm confused. We're following Carolyn, who was once a normal American herself, but that was a long time ago, of course. The father? What? I've heard that this is really weird, and I even felt weird just reading the synopsis, so I'm actually a little more excited about this now. I read the synopsis when I put this on my TBR a while ago, but it has not been in my brain since then, but this sounds really interesting. Roll 7. 7. 1, 2. You've escaped. So I ended up with 6 books on my TBR. I have these 4 plus Will of the Many plus 1 technically 4 of my 12 books from 12 friends list. I'm really scared for a lot of these books. I don't typically read books outside of my comfort zone, and sometimes it goes really well and other times it does not. So I'm obviously open to reading things I don't typically read, but it still scares me. If you have read any of these books, I would love to know your thoughts on them. Just a reminder about Christmas presents for the Pyramid Book Club, The Trap for Lights Out Book Club, and Escape the Readathon happening on my Patreon. This will be starting on December 1st and will be running about 2 weeks. There will be tons of reading sprints for it. It is going to be competitive. There's the prize. I think it's going to be so much fun. If you have made it to the end and want to leave me an emoji to say you were here, leave me a cactus emoji for the Vampires of El Norte. Once again, let me know if you've read any of the books on my TBR and also what you are most looking forward to reading in December. If you're looking to find me in other places on the internet, everything is linked in the description, including my Bookstagram, my Storygraph, and my Patreon, and then everything for book clubs and readathons you may need as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!